Manchester United 2, Leeds United 2. A very, very disappointing result today, guys. There's a lot to talk about. There is a lot to talk about today because where do we begin? It started on the backdrop of them saying that we had 13 consecutive home wins. So after that was announced, you just knew we weren't going to win today. You just knew we weren't going to win today. Today's performance was not good at all. We're going to have to talk about it. We're going to talk about the lack of midfield today. The lack of midfield. There was no midfield today, especially not in the first 20 minutes. We had a polo. There was no cohesion. There was no discipline in our midfield, and we're going to have to talk about it today. We're going to have to talk about Garnacho's performance. I know that we attacked a lot down the left-hand side, but Garnacho did not play well today. He did not play well today. And if I was Ten Hag, I probably would have made a change at halftime. So we're going to have to dissect that today, guys. Not a positive result. Not a good performance. Not a good performance by Fred. No. And Sabitzer on his debut. I'm sorry, guy. I'm sorry that this was your debut. You did not play that well either. Was it your fault? We're going to talk about it. We're going to decide. But there is a positive. There is a positive, and the positive is Sancho is back. Sancho looks good. Nice touches, good footballing IQ. The way he cushions the ball, the way he moves, it's just the way he thinks. He just oozes quality. The kid is back. He scored today, and I just hope that he continues. He continues to get better and better and show his worth, because we on this channel know how good Sancho is, and he's a bloody good player. Did Ten Hag get everything right today? Did he? I don't know. Before we get into it, guys, so that's why I'm going to ask you guys once again. He waited 10 minutes after going down 2-0 to make the changes. I would have thought that after going down 2-0, you make changes straight away. You've seen enough. You've seen what you've seen. If you're not... Lineup. Let's talk about the lineup. Ten Hag's team. So I'm glad Dalot is back. Dalot is back. Even though Aaron Wan-Bissaka has been playing well, he has been playing well. Going forward, I still don't think he has the required technical ability to execute some of the tasks that is needed, like dribbling into the box, and shooting. Dalot is better technically than Aaron. Aaron, yes, he's good. Physical, he has the physicality, and he has the one-on-one defending skills that maybe Dalot still lacks behind Aaron. But Dalot has got better defensively himself. He plays for Portugal. He plays for his national team now. So I'm glad Dalot's back. We started with Varane and Martinez at the back, Luke Shaw as left back. And of course, this is where it gets interesting, because Casemiro is injured. Well, not injured, actually. He's suspended. Eriksen is injured. And Donny's injured. And I believe also Scott McTominay is injured. So we had no choice, essentially, but to start with Fred and Sabitzer, with Bruno, of course, in the number 10 role. And also, Ten Hag decided to start with Rashford on the right and Garnacho on the left, with Weghorst down the middle. First and foremost, guys, let me know what you think of that lineup, because... hear me out now. The thing is, this is probably Ten Hag's best team he could put out with the players he had available. You could potentially say that, right? So I don't know how much I can go in on Ten Hag. But when I saw that lineup, I thought to myself, Ten Hag better take Leeds seriously, because let me tell you something. Even if United had a strong team with Casemiro and Eriksen and Anthony, right, and Martial, we still could lose against Leeds. Are our rivals. Like, you can always lose to teams like Leeds. They can always raise their game every now and again. It could always happen. So I hope Ten Hag is taking this seriously because Leeds are not a joke. Leeds have never been a joke. They're always going to raise their damn game when it comes to United. They will. So I had a feeling when I saw the lineup, I was thinking, you know what? This is not going to be a nice game. I have a feeling the atmosphere, it didn't feel right. I don't know, man. And, I guess we'll see. Well, we know it didn't turn out. I think it turned out, I think I was correct. Let's leave it as that. I think I was correct. But within the first 7 minutes, we conceded a goal. Bruno lost the ball. And this will feed into the narrative. This will feed into what I'm trying to say about the midfield. Bruno was on that side of the pitch. And you can argue if Anthony was playing, Anthony would have been in the same position Bruno would have been. And Anthony never really loses the ball. You watch United. And Anthony, even when he's been pressured, even when he's pressured behind and he's facing his own goal, he never loses the ball. He always retains possession. His touch is always immaculate. He's a Brazilian. His technical ability is really good. His first touch is really good. Bruno's first touch and Bruno's body shape and everything was just all wrong in that whole movement. And I was thinking, And not only that, there and then you saw the difference that perhaps Casemiro could have made. Because in that position, when Bruno lost the ball, in that position, you would have seen potentially Casemiro coming to sweep up, to clear the ball, to clean the man out, to do something. But neither Fred or Sabitzer, neither of them were nowhere to be seen. First thing we need to understand is neither Fred or Sabitzer are number sixes. They're not holding defenders. Sorry, they're not holding midfielders. They're not technically DMs. They're both kind of box to box. They're both reactionary players. They're both players that don't sense danger before it happens and falls back and covers passing lanes like Casemiro would sometimes, or sniffs danger before it happens and stomps out the smoke before it turns into fire like Casemiro would. They're two players that react to the danger once they see it. They'll come and close you down once you've got the ball. They're not DMs. They're not defensive midfielders. They're not. And we saw that today. We did not settle. United did not settle. 7 minutes, 8 minutes. We weren't settling. We weren't finding our feet. The defenders could not find the midfielders at all. What you saw today was Luke Shaw, past to Martinez, past to Varane, past to Dalot, past to Varane, past to Martinez, past to Shaw, past to Martinez, past to Varane. Sabitzer, I get it. We all saw how Leeds were playing with their front three covering the passing lanes. I get it. There needs to be more cohesion. There needs to be more nous. There needs to be more intelligence. The fullbacks need to occupy different positions. And not only that, Sabitzer and Fred need to move. I did not see them move enough. Yes, you are being marked, but just move. Just keep moving. Just keep running. Keep moving. If not, one of Sabitzer or Fred needs to at least every now and again, or at least more often in the first 15 minutes anyway, right? More often. Just drop into the defense and make it a 5 and pick the ball up from there. And then Varane or Martinez can push forward into the midfield and discombobulate them and move and just drag them out of position. Move the ball quicker. Move it quick so we can just move them out of position. We weren't doing that in the first 15, 20 minutes at all. But that being said, guys, we did create a few chances, and this is where we're going to have to talk about Garnacho. This is where we're going to have to talk about the damn kid. I did say in my other videos that we need to just relax about him. Stop making songs about the kid after he's scoring 1 or 2 goals. We do the same thing with Makeda's and all these other Januzaj's. I haven't seen enough from him to think that he can play for Manchester United at the highest level. And I'm thinking about where Man United want to be in terms of one of the best football clubs in the world again. And I think of what Garnacho is doing right now. And yes, he's young, and I need to not be hard on him because he can develop and he can grow. But today wasn't a good day for him, and last game wasn't a good game for him as well. So I'm seeing he hasn't played well in the last 2 or 3 games. And I did say I'm going to reserve judgment on him, and I'm starting to see a pattern and I'm starting to understand what sort of footballer he is. And I can say he's not my kind of footballer. He's more what I would say, and what maybe a lot of people say, are more pace and power rather than technical and footballing IQ sort of player, which I like. Today he made a lot of wrong decisions. His touch wasn't right a lot of times. He shot when he should have passed. He passed when he should have shot. When he cut in the field, a lot of times the pass was on, but he just didn't choose the pass. He did not play well today. He had a chance from Bruno's cross around the 17th minute that went past the post, and around the 26th minute he was put through on goal, I think also by Bruno. He cut it back, left the goalkeeper on his bum, which is actually quite good skill. He showed quite good composure by doing that, to be fair. And, I have to criticize him for shooting because Weghorst was in a better position. But at the same time, you get it. You cut back, adrenaline's pumping, you think you can score. But he should have passed it to Weghorst. We should have scored. But he wasn't a good game. It wasn't a good half of football from him. And to be fair, and this is where my judgment of Ten Hag comes in now. If I was Ten Hag, I would have taken him off at half time. I would have. And especially knowing what we now know and seeing what Sancho did when he came on for Garnacho, maybe Sancho should have started. And that is what I'm talking about. The quality is different. Yes, pace and power. Garnacho is very frantic. He wants to run in behind and run at defenders. Every time he gets a ball, run at defender. Just run at defender, run at the defender. Whether I lose the ball or not, run at the defender. Doesn't matter, run at the defender. I don't know that I need someone who can say, do you know what? Right now I can't run at the defender. Maybe I should just keep possession of the ball and rotate the ball. Maybe I should do that. That's me, But I think the main talking point, or the main thing to take away from the first half for me is the midfield discipline. We had three midfielders in Bruno, Sabitzer, and Fred, who are probably the three most ill-disciplined midfielders. One of the three most ill-disciplined midfielders, in the sense that none of them sit. Bruno, you see, when you watch Bruno play football, he's everywhere on the pitch. He just pops up anywhere he wants to be. You can argue that is a number 10's role, but I wish Bruno would be more in between the pass lanes and cause damage that way. Fred, same. Fred, he closes you down. He's for me, a more reactionary player or reactionary midfielder because he's not really a DM, He's not going to snuff out danger. He's not that kind of guy. And Sabitzer, even though he can kind of play that role, he's the same. He's more combative. He's more, I'm going to engage you. I'm going to engage you and try to win the ball. So we played with three midfielders. I'm thinking it could work if they just communicate better and decide who does what. We need to have roles. We all can't just run everywhere and go anywhere we want. We need to cover the spaces. Football's not always about engaging your player. Sometimes you got to say, okay, I'm not going to engage you. I'm just going to sit back and cover this space here because this space here is in front of the goal. So you're probably going to eventually come here. So all I need to do is cover this space, like Casemiro might have done. That's my main, I guess, thinking or talking point, or I guess the thing that I saw in the first half that annoyed me the most. But when it 1-0 down, we went into the second half 1-0 down. And as usual, we came out in the second half, and like I've said in every video this year, while we do start the game well in the sense that we will retain possession and we pass the ball well, we don't start the halves well. We don't start the games well in the sense of having the intensity. And when I say that, I'm really comparing us to, I don't know, the Liverpool of 3 years ago or the Arsenal of now. Arsenal, Arsenal are quite intense. They start games with intensity. We don't always start the games with intensity. We're quite relaxed when we start games and lackadaisical in possession. And once again, it showed today. And we're going to have to go back and talk about Garnacho, because once again, it was Garnacho who loses the ball in midfield. Garnacho has the ball in midfield, and I think he tries to dribble out of midfield. We lose possession. They get the ball on our right hand side, their left hand side. They cross the ball in. It hits Varane. Varane on goal. 2-0 down. For me, I thought that was it. Game over. I knew it. 13 straight home wins on the bounce. Thank you for mentioning that. Voodoo curse. Everyone go sleep. I thought it was done. I thought Ten Hag should have, and that's. Do you know what? That goal going in and Garnacho losing the ball there made me think I was even more vindicated, because there and then I thought to myself, oh, Ten Hag, take the kid off. Please, take this kid off. You should have taken him off at half time. It's okay. For me, I think Garnacho probably needs to go out on loan. I'm very intrigued to see what Ahmad does when he comes back. Ahmad. Because I do think we do have some decent youngsters, just like Ahmad. Ahmad Pelestri looks okay. I don't know about Garnacho. He needs a lot of refining, it seems. So perhaps he needs to go out alone for a year and come back. But he might not be ready, at least. I'm not going to say he's done. I'm not going to say he's crap. I'm not going to say all these things. Right now, what I can see with my eyes is that the kid is not ready. He scored a few goals, but Okay. So, yeah, 2-0. Garnacho, you should have could argue that Ten Hag should have taken him off at halftime for Sancho. But either way, in the 57th minute, Ten Hag finally makes the changes. And it's interesting because they scored in the 47th minute and he still waited 10 minutes. So that's why I'm going to ask you guys once again. He waited 10 minutes after going down 2-0 to make the changes. I would have thought that after going down 2-0, you make changes straight away. You've seen enough. You've seen what you've seen. But he didn't. So let me know what you guys think about that as well. We can listen. Ten Hag has done a real good job. Ten Hag has done a real good job. He has, and he's our manager, and he's going to be our manager for, I think, for a very long time. So we're gonna have to learn to criticize him, and we're gonna have to learn to praise him, without saying, "Oh, you want the manager to go." No. There's no Ten Hag out or anything stupid like that. It's just critiquing the manager. That's it. So yeah, what do you guys think about that? How late the changes were made. Weghorst and Garnacho came off for Sancho and Pelestri. And as soon as Weghorst came off, we started putting crosses in the box. We are a bunch of hate. We hate Weghorst. We must hate this guy. As soon as he goes off, all the time we start putting crosses in. I'm like, we take the piss. We don't rate this guy. We don't like ourselves. Why do we do this to ourselves? Don't make no sense. But yeah, Pelestri's cross to Rashford, another Rashford header. Like I said about Rashford, he is adding facets to his game, adding extra variables to his game that he was not known for. Like, we used to criticize Rashford for his heading ability all the time, closing his eyes when he headed the ball. He's getting better at heading the ball. He is, and he's improving. And you just want him to keep improving, of course. Rashford is a Man United player. He's growing, he's mature. He's 25, 26 now, I think. So he's now hitting the mature ages of his footballing career. So now is a time that we need to see, or we're going to start seeing, hopefully, the best of Rashford in the next 2-3 years. He has lost a bit of pace, but he's still very quick. Good goal. And yeah, that goal started, well, I was going to say started a comeback. Not the full comeback, but we equalised 9 minutes later, and it was Sancho. So now it leads me perfectly to start talking about Jadon. When Jaden came on and Pelestri came on, the one thing that changed instantly is that when the ball went off over to the left-hand side, you knew that the ball would be retained, possession of the ball would be retained, and you could get the ball back. So Sancho is not always going to get the ball and just go at his man all the time, and play some sort of percentage football. No, he's going to sometimes pull the ball back, sometimes pass the ball back and retain possession, sometimes rotate the ball. So that's first and foremost, that's what we got. We got a better hold on the game when Sancho came on because he just retained possession better. The ball sticks to Sancho's feet like glue. He's got a really good touch. We can all see that. And because he's got a really good touch and because his brain moves really quickly, he can perform 1-2s, one-touch football. He's very, very good at one-touch football. He's very good inside the box because he's got a really good touch. You can give him the ball, you can fizz the ball into his feet in the box, and he probably win you some penalties. You know, he's that kind of footballer. He is the sort of Phil Foden-y, Jack Grealish-y sort of type footballer that we have in our team. And when he came on, he just changed the game. He caused so many problems. He made the right decisions a lot. Every time a short overlapped, he'd use him. He'd either use him as a decoy, like he's supposed to do, or use him and give him the ball. Sancho, he changed the game when he came on. And Pelestri, he wasn't that bad either. Pelestri, he was neat, he was tidy, he wasn't rash. Of course, he delivered a cross for the first goal anyway, but those two, when they came on, they changed the game. And it makes you think, once again, Ten Hag. If he made the changes earlier, what would have happened, But I'm happy. I'm happy for Sancho because a lot of people, for some reason, don't understand why those people don't understand football. They give Sancho some stick, and I'm like, are you crazy? Sancho's actually only had 3 bad games. He had two bad games before the Chelsea game, which he played really, really badly, and he got subbed off, and that's it. And then everyone's talking about Sancho's he's bad, he's rubbish. I mean, listen, while you rewriting history, Sancho hasn't been that bad. He actually started the season okay. He scored important goals. He scored winning goals for us this season already. Are people forgetting that? It's like people just like to. Sancho and Anthony are 2 players that on this channel, unless you've got a legitimate complaint about them that's not shrouded in bias, because most of the media are jumping on Anthony now and jumping on Sancho for whatever reason. And it's not footballing reasons, because Anthony's 21 years old and he's just come to the Premier League. He's just come to the Premier League, 21 years old. He's a kid. People forgetting that he's a kid. It's his first season, his first few months. And look what he's doing already in his first few months in the Premier League. He's doing really good compared to other people in their first few months. Pepe and all these other guys, And he's still getting so much hate. Why? Because he's doing skills. My Lord. Oh. Angry at skills. Angry at being entertained. Eh? Anyway, Dalot and Sabitzer came off from Malacia and Lindelof, but in around the 81st minute. But the game just fizzled out. And disappointing because this was an opportunity to once again, and every time we get an opportunity, we seem to just bottle it. I hope we're not, because we have the final coming up soon against Newcastle, the Carabao Cup final. So I hope this is not getting into people's heads that when you get an opportunity to start, to bottle it again, because that's Ollie mentality. We don't need that. No. Shh. Get it out. No. So yeah, disappointing, but that's how I saw the game. It was midfield. We lost it in the midfield. We need to. Those 3, because those are the 3 that we're going to have for the next 2 games, right? Until Casemiro comes back. So those 3 are going to have to understand when one goes, you have to sit. When one sits, the other goes. I don't know how you're going to do it, but there needs to be some sort of understanding, because there's no DM there. There's no DM actually there. And because there's no DM there, somebody's going to have to do it. Somebody's and we've seen Fred there. Fred is not press resistant with his back to goal. He's not. Casemiro, and one thing we take for granted is the way that Casemiro, with his back, not his back to goal, with his back to goal, receiving the ball from his goalkeeper, he can just, find a man over his shoulder, over his left shoulder with his right foot, over his right shoulder with his left foot, without just by looking. And that is so, it looks so easy, but it's not, because you can see Fred can't do it. Fred can't do it, But yeah, I think we're seeing what we look like without Casemiro, and it's not pretty. It's not. But yeah, that's it. That's my look at the game, my view of the match. We need to sort that midfield out very quickly, or because Tottenham are trying to look confident, and it's not good, because we could fall out top 4 if we're not careful. There you have it, guys. Smash a like, share this video, share, like, put on your notifications, subscribe, do all that stuff, do all it. If you're not